Hey, welcome to the Create a Life That Is Beautiful podcast. I'm your host, Leticia Ringe, and this is the space to be for high vibe people looking to create a beautiful life and business. Let's do this. Welcome back to the podcast, my beautiful friends. I am Leticia Ringe, your host, and I'm excited to announce another special guest interview today. Before I dive into my introductions, I want to let you know that exciting news that the Holistic Business Mistressmind is now open for enrollment. So if you have been waiting for the next time we open up the doors to the Mistressmind, you are in luck. Enrollment is now open. You want to go to leticiaringe.com/100K Mistressmind to find all of the details. The Mistressmind is my signature mastermind for coaches, space holders, and business owners who are ready to take their business to six figures. It does not matter where you are in your business right now. All that matters is that you have six figures on the horizon. We will be helping you to position yourself for the six-figure growth that you desire. I'll be supporting you to implement the strategic pieces to your business. I'll help you align your messaging, put in place your systems and processes, refine your business model, and understand all the moving parts of your business so that you know exactly what to focus on to take your business to where you want to go. In addition, I will be supporting you with your mindset and energy alignment throughout the mastermind. It's a 12-month experience now because what we can create over an entire year together is so much more than we can create over one simple season. So over the course of an entire year, you will have me supporting you as we continue to align your mindset and energy with the results and the experience in business that you desire. The intention of the Mistress Mind is that we position you for the six-figure growth that you desire, and we also allow you to step into that next level in terms of your leadership, your confidence, your impact, and alignment. The reason that I continue to hold the Mistress Mind is because, quite simply, it works. Our clients create results in this space because of the unique format. The mastermind space allows you to show up and contribute to the businesses of others and also have your business contributed to by a powerful team of women in business who are also growing their business to six figures or are already at six figures. Being in this energetic community is a huge support and value for your business. It will allow you to show up in ways that you didn't know were possible, ways that are within you right now that will be activated in this experience. Places are limited in the Mistress Mind, and because of my own personal experiences recently, I paused enrollments, and this is why we are now opening up enrollments again. So we did not expect to have places open again until 2023, but as flow would have it, here we are and there are places available. So if you were eyeing it off at the end of last year and thinking, I really want to do this, but I'm feeling super scared, now is the time. Check it out at leticiaringe.com/100K Mistressmind and then follow the prompts to apply. Enrollment is only open for a short period of time, so you want to make sure you submit your application as soon as possible, as soon as places are filled, then that will be it for the rest of 2022. All right, now let me introduce today's guest. Today's guest is Kerry Auret. Kerry is one of my clients from our last season of the Holistic Business Mistressmind, and she is also one of the beautiful women that I met during my travels in Sayulita, Mexico. And in today's conversation, we're talking all about alignment because Kerry is an alignment coach. And as you all know, I also have a lot of expertise in alignment too. So if you love talking about alignment, learning about alignment, listening to people talk about alignment, you're going to love this first part of our episode because we dive into this topic deeply. Then we're going to be talking about Kerry's business journey. Kerry was able to fully book out her coaching business during our last season of the Mistress Mind, over 4 months. She took her business from 3 clients, and today she has 12 clients in her business. She's fully booked out her one-to-one business, and actually she's gone even beyond what she thought was her capacity, because she's realized, as she'll explain in this episode, that she can hold even more clients now that she has the strategies, systems, and processes in place for her business. When Kerry and I met, she knew that what she needed help with was implementing the strategic, more masculine energy aspects of her business. Today, she has a beautiful, streamlined business because of all of the systems, processes, and strategies she implemented throughout our work together in the Mistress Mind. She has been able to create routine and consistency in her business, which is now allowing her to have a team member and also to create more offers in her business. I'm so excited for you to meet Kerry and to hear about her business journey, as her journey is a really great example of someone who had more of the energy alignment piece in place, but needed support with the strategic, structural elements of her business. And as we can see from her results, putting in place those systems, processes, and structures has allowed her to have even more freedom in her life and in her business. So, my beautiful friends, without further ado, let's dive in to speaking with Kerry. Hey, Kerry, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Leticia. I'm so stoked to be here.
I'm stoked to have you here as well. So to get us started, can you let our listeners know a little bit about you and your amazing business?
Yes, my name is Kerry Auret, and I am an alignment expert. And I support my clients one-on-one or within my membership group in aligning their energy practically so that they can manifest the life that they truly desire.
Delicious. So many of the people listening to this episode right now are all about alignment. We love alignment. We know that it's really, really important to living the life that we desire and love. And so I'm super excited to have Kerry on the podcast today, everyone, so that she can share all about what she knows about alignment and also give us some tips from all of her beautiful work that she's been creating out there. So, Kerry, to get us started, can you let us know, what does alignment mean to you?
Yes, of course. So the people that I usually work with are kind of in the situation that I myself was in about 2.5, 3 years ago, where, like you said, we know that alignment is important. You know, we've heard about manifestation, law of attraction, and we know that alignment is a very, very important foundational step. But honestly, I didn't practically know how to do that. Like, I understood the concept that you need to align things. I even remember looking up the definition, and the definition in the dictionary is a position of agreement or alliance. And I love that idea of alliance, like coming together for a shared intention, but I didn't quite get it fully. And so I've had a practice for many years now where I choose a word of the year to kind of be my focus and my anchoring, grounding intention for the entire year. So at the end of 2019, going into 2020, I decided that alignment was going to be my word, even though I didn't fully understand it, but I had the intention to fully understand it by focusing my attention on it. And there was a time on the 1st of January, actually, after having decided this word, where I was just meditating and the word came to me and I chose to focus on the energy of what alignment was. And then something clicked in my brain. What you want to align is your energy. And your energy is your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. Those combined create your energy. So that made it so much more practical, just having that understanding. I knew already how to manage my mind, how to pay attention to my emotions, and I knew the importance of aligned action. So it kind of demystified it for me, and that's what I needed. I needed to know how to practically use alignment, not just have it be this kind of airy-fairy idea. So once I got that, then everything started to open up for me. I was able to create, my 5-step alignment formula. and actually have it as more of like a substantial, practical tool instead of this big, broad concept.
I love this. And it's so important. All of our listeners will have had these moments too, where it is a moment where something clicks. And of course, there are many moments that come before that are leading to that exact moment. But there is the moment where you have a new understanding or a deeper understanding and awareness of something that's really important to you. And that's where often we end up using that in our work. I know that was the case for me when it came to holistic business. It just clicked into place one day. I didn't go searching for it. It just came to me. And that's what I'm hearing from your story here as well, Kerry. And now you've gone on to create an entire business around alignment and also your own alignment formula, which is super cool.
Yes, thank you.
So what is your alignment formula? Tell us.
Yes, well, it's 5 easy steps. And if you follow these steps, you will manifest what it is that you're wanting to create in your life. So the step 1 is really bringing awareness to the situation, looking at what is the result that you want to create, and then having awareness as to what have your thoughts been, what have your feelings been, and what have your actions been that have led you to your current result, because your current result is not the result that you desire. So you start to really bring attention to what have those thoughts been going on in the background, as well as what are the stories that you've been telling repetitively. How have you been feeling about this, achieving this result this manifestation, and what actions have you consistently been taking? So once we bring that awareness, then we go to step 2, which is transmutation. So this is clearing out any of those sabotaging actions, emotions, or thoughts that have been actually keeping you from creating the result that you want. So first, we clear those out, and then we replace them with beliefs, feelings, and actions that do serve us. That's where the transmutation comes. Often, just the awareness phase can be enough to transmute a situation. You can realize, like, oh, I've had this thought running in the background that I didn't even realize. And now that I've brought awareness to it, I can see that that's not true for me. And so it'll actually immediately clear. There's other thoughts that you might need some support with clearing. And that's exactly what I do with my clients in my programs. Then the third step is practicing the new beliefs. So you want to get the conscious mind in alignment with the subconscious mind, because the conscious mind is only responsible for about 5% of your habits and your actions and how you live your life. The subconscious mind is responsible for about 95%. It needs to be that way because the subconscious mind is in charge of knowing how to brush your teeth and walk and drive a car, right? So it's a lot stronger than the conscious mind. So if the subconscious mind is not on board with the conscious mind, the subconscious mind is going to win every single time. So most coaching and thought work out there really just is focusing on your conscious thoughts. In order to change the subconscious mind, you have to really have a lot of repetition to practice your new beliefs and ways of being. Or you can do hypnosis, or you can do Psych-K. Those are like the 2 shortcuts, hypnosis and Psych-K. I like Psych-K the best. It works very, very fast at reprogramming the subconscious mind. But if you are not working with a coach or a facilitator for Psych-K, there are other ways. And the main one is just repetition. So having mantras, repeating this new way of being, acknowledging every time you're choosing the old paradigm, now it's time to choose the new paradigm and the new way of being. So step 3 is to practice the new beliefs. Step 4, very, very important, taking aligned action. And often we have to do this despite discomfort and fear. So that's another thing that is really, really helpful, to have some accountability and some support to consistently be taking those aligned actions. Step 5 is super fun. It's the manifestation step. So you get to acknowledge, have gratitude, and celebrate your manifestations, be aware that they might show up in ways that you hadn't originally expected. So it's really good to acknowledge all the forward momentum, all the baby steps, all the little things. And as you celebrate and acknowledge them and have gratitude for them, by law of attraction, you will create more experiences that you can celebrate. So the manifestation phase is really fun and also really, really an important step as well.
So
those are the 5 steps.
I love those 5 steps. And everybody listening to the episode and conversation right now is, I'm sure, feeling just as lit up as I am. These are all concepts that we talk about a lot over here, and we all know the importance of. And I think just a little note on the subconscious versus conscious part for our listeners, so there will be some subconscious programs that you have that are not aligned with how you want to direct your conscious mind, or even what your conscious mind is thinking, that are super, super ingrained. And you may have tried the repetition approach and just not been able to get away from these programs and behaviors. And so that is where I really recommend looking at something like hypnosis or Psych-K. I've never actually experienced Psych-K, so I can't recommend that firsthand. But I've personally had a lot of great experience through hypnosis, for instance, like rapid transformational therapy, although I recommend RTT when it's for something that's like quite significant. But then, if there's something that is it's not as like triggering for you, there's not as much weight to it, then the repetition process can work really effectively too. And I'm always like daily doing the journaling, reframing of my mindset, which is part of that repetition process. So I just wanted to share that, because I think sometimes we kind of undervalue how powerful simply journaling, the way we want to think, actually is reprogramming the subconscious. So just know that there are a couple of options, and it really does depend on the different program.
Exactly. I use Psych-K with myself every single day and with clients, and it's been the thing that I've found that creates the fastest results. But I also know that that's not available to everybody, or it might not be in alignment with everybody. So exactly. I agree very much with what you say.
I love it, Kerry. Okay, Kerry, can you tell us why alignment is also really important from a business and coaching perspective?
Yes, definitely. So having a business is the best self-development program out there, I've found. So much growth is necessary in order to have a thriving and consistently expanding business where you get to serve the people that you desire to serve. So anybody that's building a business, creating a business, serving clients, you will know that things come up all the time where you have to face your own fear, where you have to align your energy, where manifestation, like all these things can be applied in every single area of your life. And being a business owner, you need to be able to focus on things holistically, just like how you teach in all of your programs. So being able to fully take care of yourself, make sure that your cup is full and that your energy is aligned, is a very, very important part of the puzzle. The energy comes first. So aligning your energy before writing the copy for your website, aligning your energy before, showing up to teach a workshop or even coach a client. And this doesn't have to be a big, long process. It can be as quick as a breath and a centering, especially when you've done some of the longer practices. Then your body knows exactly, and your being knows exactly how to get into alignment. So alignment really is the foundation for everything, especially for creating a business and serving others.
I love this so much. Yeah. And it's all about what you're backing your actions with. Is it this energy that's in support of the result that you want to create, or is it not? And that's why some actions can feel really, really hard, even though we're taking them to get a specific result. But if we're not actually aligned with that result, then it makes it really hard to actually create that result through the actions. And something that I'm just thinking about, Kerry, is that it can be as easy and as simple as a decision. And I'm just reflecting on something that we were talking about before recording this, which we'll probably get to later. But that alignment can simply be a decision in one instance.
Yes, exactly.
So good. Okay, Kerry, do you have, if you had to distill it down to 3 tips that we could use to get started when it comes to alignment? I know you've given us your whole process, so perhaps some of those tips are within that process you shared. What would you say are those 3 most important first steps?
Yes. So the first step I would recommend is what we were just talking about, the awareness. And journaling is an absolutely amazing way to bring awareness to what those thoughts are, allowing yourself to just take a breath, tune into your intuition. I like to just imagine my energy settling into the core of my body, usually to the heart and the lower belly. This is where my intuition lies. So just taking a breath, and then just allowing your thoughts to come out on the paper. You can write a topic at the top of that's coming up in your life, if it's your business or your relationship or your body, whatever those main topics are, and then just allow yourself to free flow journal, and you will see a lot of those subconscious thoughts coming out in this way. And another part of awareness is just first notice, like I called before, the stories. Notice what you're saying out of your mouth. What are the things that you are repeating? Like something that I even noticed today and caught myself was, I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy. And when you repeat that over and over and over again, you're going to perpetuate it as you align in it. Now, I can have just as many things on my calendar and on my to-do list and not have that repetitive story going on in the background. So becoming aware of those words that are coming out of your mouth is an easier step. And then once you practice that, then you'll automatically start to notice your thoughts. So the words that are going on that aren't coming out of your mouth, but staying in your head. So bringing awareness to all of those is going to be very helpful. And I want to go back to what you were saying, is like alignment can be as simple as just a choice. And I very much agree with that. But at first, we do have to kind of look at these steps and practice these steps a few times to understand them. And then it's going to become your automatic way of being. So it is as easy as just a choice. And if you're finding that you're not consistently able to make that choice, breaking it down into the steps, practicing those steps quite a few times, then you no longer have to actually do the steps because it's just your automatic way of being. You're also not having to clear as much because you're not taking on those limiting thoughts and beliefs as much. So this is a process that is kind of almost clunky in the beginning, but it gets faster and faster and more efficient with consistency.
Yes. And again, also, it can depend on the area or the particular topic that you're focused on. Some are going to have more resistance than others. And so that would mean, I think it was the second step in your process where we're transcending. So it could make that second step need a little bit more TLC, time, love, and care.
Yes. And of course, having somebody to support you through it is ideal. If you have, that was going to be one of my steps, is getting some kind of accountability, whether that's, somebody that you live with, if it's another person that, a colleague, obviously being in a group membership like yours, Leticia, that's what really made a very big difference for me, is having that accountability. And it's something that I do with my clients. At the end of every single session, I ask my clients, what did you get out of the session today? And we get to reflect on that. And based on that, I ask them to take at least one aligned action step before the next time we talk. And because they know that I'm going to be talking to them again soon, they're going to be held accountable. So every session I start with, did you take that step? Now, you don't have to take a whole bunch of steps, and you don't need to know what all the steps are, but to be able to take it from the information stage and be able to integrate it and embody it and take an action, even if it's just a small action, it's going to create a cascade of actions and a momentum of actions. So taking aligned action is key, and having some kind of accountability and support in taking that action will really help you to consistently take it.
Yes, I love that. And you also have reminded me of a question that I really think of you when I ask myself this question, because you taught it to me, which is, what am I aligning with here? Just simply asking that question when you're feeling busy, like you said, or overwhelmed. And I think the way that we phrase it is more, what am I choosing to align with here? And I found that such a powerful question to get you aware of that there's a choice here. And then secondly, okay, awareness, is this actually the energy that I want to be in, that I want to be aligning with, or not? And then that question is really great, I find, for shifting very quickly.
Yes, I've even asked my partner, Brian, if when I'm in a state where I'm just, overwhelmed and in some thought loops, or, just feeling frustrated, which is my part of my human design, when things aren't flowing the way they're supposed to, he knows now to ask me, babe, what are you choosing to align in right now? Or what energy are you choosing to align in? So I've asked him to do that, and he'll do that for me. And at first it can almost be a little irritating, because it's exactly what I need to hear, but it always supports me in bringing some awareness. And that doesn't mean that it's not appropriate to feel every different emotion. And there's nothing wrong with feeling every different emotion, but acknowledging that it's your choice and that you can continue to feel that emotion if it's in support of you and if it's in support of what you're creating. But bringing that awareness helps you to be able to choose and navigate and make that choice consciously instead of unconsciously.
Yeah, that's such a good point. Oh, okay. I love this, Kerry. Is there anything else that you want us to know about alignment before we move on to talking about your amazing business journey?
There's one thing that I heard on Alexandra James's podcast recently that has just shifted a lot for me. So I was thinking I wanted to somehow bring it up, and I guess this is the moment. So, and it also leads into what I was just talking about how, life is not just about being happy and feeling good all the time. Because if that were so, then we would never actually go through that fear and that discomfort to create the up levels in our business and in our lives. Because often it takes you moving through the fear, moving through the discomfort. And yes, you can align your energy, and that is going to very much support you. But when the first time you do something, it's going to feel scary. And if you keep waiting for it to feel easy, or waiting for it to feel fun, or waiting for it to happen for you, you're always going to be just, you called it like floating in the abyss.
I know, such a good concept.
Yeah. So the thing that I heard on the podcast was, it's not about how you're feeling, it's about who you're being. And that really got me. I was like, yes, that is such a good way to explain it. Because if you're feeling fear, but you're moving forward and taking that step that's going to have you serve somebody else, and grow your business and get a new client and or whatever, or you're going through the discomfort of being with whatever that craving is, instead of just, going from desire to like eating the cookie, you actually let yourself feel the discomfort, then you're going to like move beyond that habit that maybe you're wanting to change. So, you can be feeling good because you're on drugs or you're distracting yourself or you're, there's a lot of different reasons why you can feel good. You're getting a massage, but if you're not actually focusing on who you're being, that's your point of alignment, is who you're being, not how you're feeling, and not even what you're doing. So that concept has just been repeated over and over again in all of my coaching calls recently, because it's just so pertinent. And sometimes what's most in service to you and to your loved ones and to the planet is to experience your grief, or to experience your anger, or to experience your fear and then move through it anyway. So it's okay to choose that. Just acknowledge that it's a choice and allow it, surrender to it, be with it, and then acknowledge that you can shift your alignment when you're ready.
Yes, I love this. It's really important to know that we aren't our feelings, that they are literally an energetic wave that passes through us that we're here to experience. And the more we repress our emotions, try not to feel them, avoid them, that's where we lead more and more to not being who we actually want to be. So I really, really love that distinction you've just made there, Kerry. Yeah. Thank you.
Beautifully said. When we start to learn about mindset and thought work, we can get so focused on like wanting to control all of our thoughts so that we always have that emotion that feels yummy in the moment. But if you are seeing that kind of like in a black or white way instead of all the different shades of gray, it's going to hold you back instead of move you forward.
Totally. And I also love knowing that our mindset and energy isn't something that we need to get perfect either. We can still have incredible results that we want to create without our mindset and our energy being completely aligned. Like, just have a think about all of the super successful billionaires out there. Let's say that billionaires. Do you think all of these people have a really good mindset and energy? Probably not. They can still create results. So I think it's really important to know as well that we can go through hard times. Like recently, I've gone through my separation with my partner. You can still go through hard times. You can still not have a perfect mindset and energy, and you can still create really great results. So, but your experience of the process of creating the results is going to be so much more enjoyable the more that you do focus on aligning your mindset and energy with the actual journey that you want to have towards those results.
I couldn't agree more.
Okay, yes. Kerry, now let's talk about growing your alignment coaching business. So Kerry and I have worked together in my Holistic Business Mistressmind, and she fully booked out her one-to-one coaching business. Kerry, can you just, before we dive into what you've learned through that process, can you just give us a little bit of a background as to what fully booked means in terms of your business?
Yes, it was during our initial strategy session, which was so helpful because I knew that I wanted to work with more people. I knew that I wanted to make enough money to sustain myself, as a coach, which I wasn't doing when I first joined your container. But I didn't really know what that would look like, or it didn't have any kind of goals or even like a something that I was moving towards. So in the strategy session, I was able to look at like, well, how many people would you feel comfortable and would feel expansive and enjoyable for you to work with? And I was able to see, okay, I like to work 4 days a week and have a 3-day weekend every week. I love that I get to create that for myself. So I could do 2 client calls a day. So I currently had 4 clients, and then one of them ended up finishing, and she had some life changes. She wasn't going to continue with coaching. So then I was down to 3, which was kind of scary too, because I just set this goal for 8 and I was at 4. I was halfway there, and then 1 left. So there was some alignment that had to happen there with my beliefs. But I pretty quickly, once I really started putting into practice the strategies that I learned within your program, was able to get to 8 clients. And once I had 8 clients for, I think it was about 2 months, I really just realized, wow, I can I have a bigger capacity than this. I'm loving this. I want to do this more. And it really was just with having that decision and aligning my energy with being open to receiving and attracting more clients that I had 4 clients come in, I think in the last like 2 months. And that just happened super easy. And yeah, I'm working with 12 one-on-one clients now. And then I also have about 20 people in my group membership program.
So amazing. And the way that Kerry explained that last increase in clients was that she just decided and then it happened. And that's what I was speaking to before when I was talking about sometimes it can just be a decision. And I love that example. I also love, Kerry, what you said about at first you had one client leave and then it led you to feeling like, oh my gosh, this shouldn't be happening, like the fear. And I think that this is a very common story. Of course, this is what I observed in a lot of my client stories, not everyone, but a lot. Just before we're about to expand in a really big way, often there is some like shifting that needs to happen. And sometimes that can be seen in what we're holding. It could be something not working out that we really wanted. And I always see this as, okay, something is just being created space for. But when you're in it yourself as the person, the human who has these shifts happening, it can feel super, super scary because we're stepping into that unknown. We really have to, it actually forces us to cultivate that sense of self-trust. And that's definitely the journey that I also witnessed in you, Kerry, which was so beautiful to see how you moved from that fear into that trust in your vision and what you were creating. And now you're here, the manifestation and embodiment of that vision today, which is just super cool for everyone to see.
Thank you.
So tell us, Kerry, what was the number one thing that you focused on to create this result for yourself? Like, what would you distill it down to?
Consistent, aligned action.
Yes.
And the consistent part is very important because you have to move through some fear and discomfort. And by choosing intentionally to be consistent, that's what will have you doing it despite that fear and discomfort. I had to like really sit in fear and discomfort. And it sounds crazy, but I was scared. And I got to, like, one of the helpful things I did was look at secondary gains. Like, what was I gaining by not showing up in my business? What was I gaining by not getting clients? Because the conscious mind is so focused on what it wants. But then if you're not following that up consistently with action, you're not going to create it. And there's probably a reason why you're not. So uncovering some of the secondary gains, I was had these thoughts of, well, I wasn't going to have enough free time. And I came out of a 15-year, very high stress nursing career. And I had a lot of resistance to having a stressful hustle, day where I just felt like I was giving and never able to take care of myself. So I had some subconscious beliefs holding me back about what it would look like to be, for example, fully booked. So going through my own alignment process and going through the 5 steps, uncovering those subconscious thoughts, transmuting them, practicing my new way of being, taking aligned action, and then acknowledging and celebrating every consult call, every event that I produced, every person that signed up for my newsletter, really being consistent in acknowledging all of the forward momentum that I was creating. So it was creating the formula and then following it myself consistently that actually got me to the place of being fully booked and beyond.
Yeah. And like what I love is that once you land on cultivating that formula, which I call your strategy, your holistic strategy for growth, once you land on that and it starts working, at first there's some testing and tweaking required to really get everything, all the pieces in the strategy, like fine-tuned and working and serving their purpose. Once you land on that, it's simply about continuing to execute these things again and again and again. Like Kerry can now use this, everything that she's learned to fully book out her one-to-one coaching business for everything else that she launches in the future. There may be some like little tweaks that are needed for other offers that she ever creates, which she will, because obviously in terms of a one-to-one business, we're limited to a certain point. Although it's very possible also to scale a one-to-one coaching business. I've got some great examples of that. But she'll be able to use the foundation of what she's cultivated here and then make a couple of tests and tweaks for the actual offer. So it really is something that does continue to pay off. And I'm talking about the time that you spend really getting clear on what that strategy is, which is something that I love to help my clients with, because it can be really hard to see all of the details and decide on all of the details when it's all in our head. So that's where a coach can really help you. But then secondly, as Kerry's mentioned, the actual execution, because there has to be an experimentation of these things in practice so that you have feedback and are actually learning from yourself. And I think that this is the most special part of the process. And when my clients are able to move forward and take those steps, it's so fulfilling and rewarding to see, because they start to get all of that feedback. But also know that all of the work that goes in to actually get yourself to take those steps, like Kerry was talking about, finding that consistency and routine for herself to show up in that aligned action. All of that work where you may not see yourself moving forward, where you may not see yourself taking the aligned action, is just as important as when you actually start taking the action, because it's what gets you from A to B.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kerry, how do you think about your business now that you're fully booked? Like, what sort of thoughts do you have about your business?
I think the first thing, just coaching so much and aligning in every single call, there is a deep energetic shift. There is an expansion. There is a transformation on every single call, like aligning in that consistently and then having that manifest consistently. I'm incredibly secure in my ability as a coach. Now, I felt like I was before, but subconsciously, there were still some things coming up for me. So now none of that is in the way at all. I'm completely secure in my ability to create transformation in every single call. If it's a consultation call, a membership, Zoom, or a one-on-one with a one-on-one client, I know going in, it's going to be incredible. And like I said, I asked that question at the end of the call: what did you get out of this call? And for a while before it was really happening consistently, I was aligning in, oh my gosh, so much I got so much out of this. And that's what I hear now over and over and over again. It's really, really awesome. So that complete security in my ability to coach and my ability to attract the clients that are in alignment with me, that resonate with what it is that I do, and that are really ready to invest in themselves energetically, financially, to create whatever that desired result is through using their alignment. So with those new knowings about myself and my business and my skill as a coach, it's really had me feeling completely secure in creating what's next, which is Align Your Life group program, which is going to be a full year-long program. And I'm just so excited to be able to serve people in this next level way within a community. There's going to be, full modules explaining all the foundational pieces. And then we're going to go through the 4 main areas of life: self-love, romantic love and partnership, body and money and career and purpose. And then go through those, have a month of integration, go through each of those areas once again so that you can deepen those areas from the new elevated place that you're at, and then a month of completion and kind of wrapping everything up so that everybody in the container feels ready to be able to come out of the container and successfully be masterful in all of the tools that they learned within the year. So I've been thinking and creating and just nonstop about this program. I'm so excited, and being fully booked and having my business expand the way it does enables me to be able to be completely confident that all I need to do is create this and offer it. And I know that the aligned people will come in completely with total ease and joy.
Love this. So Kerry, one of the areas that you mentioned you're working on is really creating that consistency in your business. I'd love to just focus a little bit more on there before we move on, because I know that there are so many people listening to this episode right now too and thinking, I want to be more consistent in my business. I want to take that consistent aligned action too, but I just feel like I keep stepping in my own way. What would you recommend based on what you've learned through your own experience?
Yes. So I talked about word of the year earlier. My word of the year for 2022 is consistency, because I've recognized how important it actually is. It's everything. So finding some kind of accountability, hiring a coach, being in a mentorship, something like that is what I have found personally is the most important thing for being consistent. My personality type works very, very well with accountability. So I have different people that hold me accountable for different things. I have a virtual assistant, and I've created deadlines for when I need to turn things in. And I have my coach. I ask my partner to hold me accountable. My mom and I make fitness goals and have accountability. So that's what I've learned has worked best for me. And I know that doesn't work for everybody. So finding out what is that one thing that's going to support you in being consistent, and then really just choosing it and committing to it. Now, I know through my human design, consistency is not one of my strengths, but I also know that it's very important. And then I was able to see that dedication is one of my strengths. So I was able to focus on dedication and almost think of consistency as something that I'm dedicated to, and create, consistently taking action steps, and not just passive action steps, actual action steps that are putting you out there and making offers and having consults. That's what it's going to take to grow anything.
Yes, I love it so much. And I just think it's so useful for everybody to hear your story, because consistency isn't something that does come easily to everyone. So for instance, in human design, which is something that I shared with Kerry earlier on in our process, in human design, there are a number of arrows at the top of your chart, depending on where you're downloading your chart from. But there are 4 arrows, and they're pointing to the left or to the right. Any arrow that's pointing to the left is showing a more masculine left brain tendency that you have, and any arrow pointing to the right is showing a more feminine right brain tendency. And the first arrow on the top to the left, so the arrow at the top left, if that is pointing to the right, consistency is not something that tends to come easily to these people. Now, there are other aspects of the chart that you can draw upon that will give you the same outcome, which is ultimately consistency. But when it comes to consistency and even routines, it's just easy to have a routine for myself. If it's pointing to the right, then that probably doesn't come easily to you. So it is okay to recognize that you might have difficulties, but then it's asking yourself, well, how can I support myself to create that consistency in my life in other ways? And that's where having accountability, or just finding what works for you to help you to show up consistently with the things that you actually want to be consistent at. And I just think that's very helpful for people to know, because when we're comparing ourselves to others, consistency and routines may come really, really easily to some people, but they're not for you. So it's not about banging your head against a brick wall over and over and over again, trying to do the same thing as someone else. It's what will resource me to help me to show up consistently. And that's what I see in your story, Kerry, there with using accountability for that purpose.
Yes.
So good. Okay, Kerry. So, what would you like to tell and share with everyone about your experience in the Mistress Mind? What really supported you in that container and working together?
So much. What I really needed that I got out of the Mistress Mind was the holistic aspect, because I am an alignment expert and I know how manifestation works, and I'm an amazing manifester, but I didn't actually have the strategy to have it all come together. So I already had a lot of the energy stuff and knowledge and practices. And so having a program that had that already, which I very much resonate with and see the benefit of and am in alignment with, plus the strategy, was the perfect mix for me to be able to implement the strategy along with, I mean, I'm saying it like it's two different things, but it's not. It's a holistic approach. So that was incredibly, incredibly helpful. Then, of course, the community. Actually, we were talking about accountability within the group. I asked, who else is a rebel personality type, because we work very well with accountability, and actually made a separate group where we said at the beginning what we were going to do, so what we were going to commit to. So like for me, I work Monday through Thursday, so I picked one task that had to be done every day, and from there it just grew. But having that accountability within the community was awesome. Getting to celebrate each other's wins, getting to hear like how somebody did it, made it seem so possible for me. So that was just incredible. And I still stay in touch with a number of the people that are from the group that I was in. So the community was incredible. And then, of course, the main thing is your coaching, Leticia. You just have this wisdom and clarity, and you're so assertive with this amazing, like, loving foundation, that it was the perfect thing that I needed right then at that stage to grow myself. I mean, I tripled my income. I got fully booked. I created more than what I had set goals for. And yeah, you're just an absolutely incredible leader and coach. And it was just such an honor to get to be in your container. And I knew from the moment that I met you that you were something really special. And as soon as you started talking about your business and your program, I was immediately a hell yes. And I'm so, so, so grateful for you.
Oh, I'm so grateful for you. And as I was telling Kerry, as we were reminiscing at the start of this episode, I saw something so special in Kerry too. And I just knew that I could help. And I knew that she was just an amazing coach, which she is. So I'm just super excited for you all to get to meet Kerry today. And Kerry also has an awesome masterclass that she'd like to tell you about as well. So Kerry, thank you for coming on and sharing all about your business journey and about alignment. Thank you for being a part of the Mistress Mind. I love, love, love and appreciate you. And now let everyone know about your masterclass and how they can connect with you.
Yes. So easiest way to connect with me is to go to my website. It's just my name.com. So KerryAuret.com. And if you scroll to the bottom, you'll find a link where you can sign up for my newsletter. And if you sign up for my newsletter, you will also be getting my masterclass on the alignment formula. If it's easy for you to remember, you can also go to kerryauret.com/alignment formula masterclass. And in that masterclass, I teach you how to practically apply the 5-step alignment formula to manifest a specific desired result of your choice. So at the beginning of the masterclass, you decide what it is that you want to manifest, and then I will take you through the steps so that you can manifest it with ease.
So delicious. Also, that that just made me think this masterclass would go so well for anyone who hasn't used the menstrual magic journal to manifest. It would be super cool for you to do that masterclass and also then take it through the different seasons of your cycle. So we'll make sure we pop a link to that as well. And yeah, let Kerry and I know if you end up using both, and definitely continue the conversation with Kerry and I. Kerry, where on social media is the best place for people to connect with you?
Yes, I love Facebook. That's my number one. I'm kind of old school in that way, but you can also find me by kerryauret.com, KerryAuret. There's two Kerry Aurets. You'll know which one is me. I'm pretty sure. Use your intuition.
Love it.
And I also share on Instagram at aligned_manifestation. I have a YouTube channel. I have a TikTok. But really, if you just go to kerryauret.com, the links to all of my social media are on the bottom.
Amazing. Thank you, Kerry, for coming on.
Yes, thank you so much, Leticia. It's an absolute honor. And I'm just sending so much love out to all your amazing, amazing listeners.
So there you go, my beautiful friends. A big thank you to Kerry for coming on and sharing all about her business journey with us all. Now, if you are ready to take your business to the next level, to position it for 6 figures, to become fully booked, to step into that next level in terms of your leadership, your confidence, your impact, your systems, your structures, your strategy, streamline things, get consistent, align your energy, be with other amazing women in business who are all growing their business to 6 figures and beyond, then come and join us in the Holistic Business Mistress Mind. You can find all the details at leticiaringe.com/100K Mistress Mind. As I mentioned, this will be the last opportunity to join us for 2022. So if you're feeling called to expand and you know you're ready for that next level, even though it feels scary and exciting at the same time, your intuition is leading you, take a chance on yourself and put in your application. All right, my beautiful friends, I'll see you in our next episode. Hey, if you're ready to create your very own purpose-driven business too, I invite you to check out my online program, Create Your Beautiful Biz. You'll learn how to create a business that allows you to make your difference and thrive. Just head over to www.leticiaringe.com/CYBB. Let's make creating a business beautiful. I'll see you there.